and Donald Trump Jr., Executive Jomana Brisecci.
So the answer is, I don't know, maybe one day, that calling is there. I'll always be very active in terms of being a vocal proponent of these things. I think my father has truly changed, the Republican Party. I think it's the America First Party now. The Trump Organization isn't doing business with any government entities. They're doing it with private investors. There is a very clear distinction between those things. So I think it's an incredible opportunity. And what I saw last week looked truly spectacular. It's an entire reset for the future of Middle East-U.S. relations, the business opportunities. And I think it was just incredible to see. It's truly spectacular.
You retweeted Don Jr., who said, what I want to know is, how did Dr. Jill Biden miss stage 5 metastatic cancer? Or is this yet another cover-up? And you just said, other than Mary, as far as I can see, this entire family is just cruel and broken, and in this case, painfully dumb. We just did a story about him saying, oh, yes, of course, I'll probably run for president one day. I'm like, oh, my God. Right?
At this point, and I really cannot stress this enough, it's all distraction. Ignore him. Ignore the things that do not matter right now. The Gulf of Mexico, which will always be, it was born that way. We're not changing its name. Come on, it was that way at birth. We can't do that. So all of these things, Trump 2028, ignore them. Like, I understand he may believe some of this. There are more pressing things for us to focus on right now, like this bill. And when I say, if you've never done anything like calling a senator, now is the time to do it. Call your senator. Please, this bill is horrifying.
Where's the CNN, the mainstream media, Jake Tapper? If they were reporting on what was in this bill instead of Joe Biden old, and as we were saying all week, Dana, the fact that Joe Biden got cancer, you think, oh, will they ease up on him for a second? Oh no, it'll be an opportunity to be even more awful to Joe Biden. Absolutely, right?
And all of us are thinking, if this doesn't go well and he goes before the other guy, I'm gonna be very pissed. I'm just saying it.
And also, Jody and I have been talking all morning, Dana. There's always another story here. Just before Biden's 2024 State of the Union address, a number of network anchors were invited to the White House for an off-the-record briefing. As the speech was to be centered around the economy, CNN's Aaron Burnett was picked over Jake Tapper. According to two people, Tapper had a meltdown, called numerous people in the White House to vent his anger. He was raging, "I'm Jake Tapper. This is my network," according to one person on the receiving end of one of Tapper's calls. I mean, and then this other part, right? Now that CNN is pimping Jake Tapper's book nonstop, we learned that Tapper was big mad at the Bidens because his beau was dying. Tapper called Hunter and wanted exclusive right to Beau's death story. Hunter told Tapper to F off, and Tapper started his revenge. Did he volunteer and insist on moderating the Biden-Trump debate because he was so angry? CNN, if you're going to pimp the book, you need to come clean, because this will all come out. I mean, wow. That seems like a conflict of interest, him moderating this debate and not fact-checking Trump at all while he's writing a Biden hit piece.
I mean, I tell you what, if that's the facts that are coming out, I don't disagree. And if there's someone writing a book about him writing a book, let's do it. I mean, at this point, I hate that it's coming out the timing that it's doing it. And if it's intentional, it sounds like it's intentional if what you just said is true. And that means there's so many more disgusting people in media than I knew. And listen, I've never been like a huge fan of Jake Tapper, but this one also, I didn't know he was this guy. I didn't know he was this guy. Yeah. And now he's showing himself as this guy.
I never thought Nicole Wallace would be my only safe space in the world.
No kidding.
It's fantastic. Part of it's my schedule. I mean, I love Rachel and, Lawrence and everybody else. I'm just not up that late. But, that's why I keep saying you got to support independent journalists like Daily Beans and, the new Politics Bar, our show, Bob Seska, all of, because I felt like this was the week. I just was done with corporate media, except for my Nicole, as I call her.
Does she know that?
Yeah. Don't, because they'll creep her out. Okay. But yeah, Jeff said they are giving airtime to promote their odious book. To her credit, Mika started trying to get Tapper to say that Biden was an effective president. Not my job, he says. Next, they speculated about his cancer. Everything wrong with political journalism is in this moment, including Joe Scarborough apologizing to Jake Tapper for defending Joe Biden. I'm like, oh my God, have some balls. There was no cover up other than Biden normal aging. Like, we were just saying, Jody and I were at that fundraiser here.
Absolutely.
The guy was sick and had a bad debate, and he was 80. I mean, that's it.
Absolutely.
That's the whole story.
And stop with the whole, oh, you don't just show up with stage 4 cancer. Yes, you do.
You do.
Millions of people are diagnosed with stage 4 cancers. They just are. Friends I've had that we have lost, stage 4 colorectal cancer. It goes undetected. So don't pretend that this is another cover-up. It could absolutely be that this came to and no one caught it before, even if there was doctor's appointments, even if he was getting checked every year.
Yeah. Well, we were saying, and, maybe that's what needs to change, that they don't screen men over 70. I was saying, they don't recommend, mammograms, sometimes pap smears for women over a certain age. We were just saying, this is particularly...
Wait, really? So they're just like, well, they had a good run. I mean, if they get it now, let's not waste our money on this.
Paps are recommended every 5 years.
Right
now.
Right. Well, we were saying this particularly personal because our beloved Randy Rhoads announced this week she's battling lung cancer, and she already beat...
Oh, man, I did not know. I'm so sorry. Sending my love to Randy.
Yeah, she already beat breast cancer, but she was saying her doctor didn't screen, and she'd been a smoker. I mean, she quit 4 years ago, but the fact she had a history of cancer and had been a smoker... They didn't screen. So, the part of this, too, it's like, is the larger discussion about our healthcare system, right?
Yeah. And the initial, social media or tweet or whatever it was from Trump, we know he didn't write it. It was compassionate. There was empathy. There wasn't capitalized words. Everything was spelled correctly. The grammar was there. And then, of course, Don Jr., Cokehead, comes out, and then you see the truth of the family. You see the truth of what is underlying. And almost all of them that I've ever seen, except Mary, they are broken.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, in this scene in the Oval Office, I mean, don't you run out of words? Someone that talks about this all the time, don't you run out of words to just talk about what a horrifying, stomach-churning embarrassment he is? I mean, it's just in front of the entire world. David said, Trump's ambush of South Africa's president was another shameful day in U.S. history. There is no white genocide happening, and Trump's insistence on that lie reveals so much about his bias. He's just such a deep... just vitriolic, lifelong racist, period.
Oh my God. On television going, the white farmers, there's only white farmers. The white farmers are the ones that are dying. And the president was like, that's not true. It is true. Oh, there's only white farmers. And then he just stopped listening. He just stopped responding, I should say. The president, he was fixing his cuffs and he's like, I'm not going to reach these guys and I'm not going to turn into what he wants me to turn into.
Yeah.
He's goading these people, hoping that they respond. And the response was, I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you. It was such a good, beautiful shade. And then they moved on. I know. It's disgusting. It's embarrassing.
And he's how embarrassing, this, conspiracy theory movie, dim the lights. I'm just like, oh my God. Nobody's gonna, why would anyone come to the White House anymore? It's just, and I was saying just the,
Melania's not there, so we know there's not many people coming to the White House.
And I'm so tired of, whether it's Bill Maher or whoever saying, oh, MAGA's they're not racist. Give me a break. I mean, I go to, I can't stomach all of this and Fox News on top of it, but I do go over to foxnews.com to see, and I thought, like yesterday, there was, and we feel bad when anybody is murdered.
Absolutely.
But I realized, what the template is. It was a very pretty blonde, white college girl that was, of course, shot by a black guy. And I thought, of course, this would be on Fox 24/7. They pick and choose what
of
they
course
cover
they
to gin up their racist base.
That's the thing. If you look at all of the people whether it's Kegseth, whether it's, Tucker Carlson, all these people that have Russian ties, of course they want to start a race war. Putin wants a race war. All roads lead back to him. So it's not surprising that these are the stories that they're airing. They're being instructed to, and they have sold their souls to the devil. That's all this is.
Yeah. Lincoln Project said, why are the Doge records? Why are the records being kept secret? Wasn't the whole point of Doge to expose the waste, fraud, and abuse to the American public? I mean, every single thing is a scam, right? He's in the Oval Office. Where do you think he gets these white genocide conspiracy theories? From Elon Musk, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? You want to talk about waste, fraud, and abuse? Waste? Don't fire transgender military people. Do you know how many billions of dollars it's going to take to retrain people? I met the person, her name is Jo Ellis, and she's an incredible transgender soldier, but she's the one they smeared during that helicopter accident in D.C. They said she was flying the helicopter. And when I met her, I was like, you look really good for a dead girl. She's got a great sense of humor. She's fantastic. But if they get rid of her, Call Youngkin in Virginia. If they get rid of her, it's $1 million training for that one person. One person.
Yeah. Okay. So just to sum up, Kathy says the Gilded Office meeting further proves that he is out of control. He is having political opponents arrested. He's accepting planes for personal use. CDC and the NIH are muzzled. New COVID vaccine policy based on what? Not evidence and certainly not science. Kidnapping, disregard for laws, disregard for the Constitution, grifting, all chips to countries that harbor terrorists because they bought millions of his meme coins. We will not survive till 2026. Doesn't it feel like that? I'm like, how?
I mean, there's definitely some days it does,
Yeah.
but we cannot. And I know I'm just, but I'm not being Pollyannish. That's what they want from us. They
Right.
want us to be exhausted. They want us to give up. And yes, some days it feels like that, but we cannot let them take our joy. We cannot the people right now are protesting and they're fired up and the coalitions are building because if it's not going to come from Washington, D.C., it's going to come from us. This No Kings rally that's going to be on his birthday is going to be massive. You're going to see numbers in this. You're going to see numbers you've never seen before. Like it's.
Oh no, we have a king
because come out.
because Prince Don Jr. is going to be next, as you know.
Oh, don't say that.
So just real quick, this is why courage is so important now. This is why you don't not only have Jake Tapper on Joe Scarborough to plug his stupid book, but you don't apologize to him for defending Joe Biden. This one, Marty says, Target CEO Brian Cornell thought he was playing the game. He donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration, axed Target's DEI programs, figured the MAGA morons would make him a hero, start shopping at Target. Instead, he got boycott sales dropped off a cliff, so he watched his salary fall by 45% since last year alone. For comparison, his compensation fell from $77 million to $9.9 million last year. That's still a ton of money a year for anybody. Your cowardice is not going to be rewarded, Dana.
Not at all. The leopards are going to eat your face.
Yes, yes. Oh, this is why we have a hero pardon.
Defending our nation from the clutches of fascist idiocracy, we proudly present Heroes of Democracy.
Barry Diller, come on down. Media mogul Barry Diller says he does not plan to work with law firms that have brokered settlements with Donald Trump. He said the worst that could happen to them under the administration was doing is that they could lose a little business. I would never employ one of those law firms that did that essentially folded under these circumstances. That's what Glenn Kirschner always says. Why do you want to hire cowards? I think they're going to stand up for you in court, right? I mean,
there are several high-profile lawyers that were at the conference I was at last weekend, and they are disgusted by the law firms that are bending a knee to him because that's exactly it. Why would we want to work with you?
Yeah.
You have no spine,
Yeah.
and you're not practicing the rule of law.
Yeah, and Barry Diller went on to say politicizing the FCC is a crime. It's simply a crime saying that broadcasters or people whose licenses the FCC holds should be subject to political determination. We say it every day. Cowardice is contagious, and so is courage. So
Indeed.
choose courage.
You get to you get to pick, you get to choose.
Yep. 19 minutes after the hour. Things are better. I'm going to say the jingle's correct. Okay. This portion of the Everything's Better with Dana show. Oh, hey there, it's Stephanie Miller. If you're like me and you love sharp political insight, pointy, you like it pointy and sharp, bold opinions, and a touch of humor to make sense of these crazy times, have I got some fantastic news for you. The Political Voices Network is now on Substack. This is your new go-to for the best in independent media. We're talking about my show streaming daily with episodes on demand, the fearless of journalism of Brian Karem, the brilliant side-splitting satire of John Fugelsang, the unrelenting working class advocacy of Rick Smith, and so much more. Here's the best part. Subscribing is so easy. You can join for free or go to the extra mile. Support these incredible independent voices by signing up for a full subscription starting at just $8. You'll get access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and a chance to directly fuel fearless, unfiltered media. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to politicalvoicesnetwork.com. Hit that subscribe button and become part of the movement keeping truth alive in an era of corporate media overload. Every subscription helps, especially yours. One more time, that is politicalvoicesnetwork.com. Sign up now. Do it.